Intelligent designer has to bring has brought the universe into existence, and for it to do that, it has to be first self-existent, without depending on anyone else. Yes, it has to be non-contingent. It is a necessary attribute of that entity, of that intelligent designer, for it to be self-existent. Yes, and it has to have the ability to create, to bring the universe into existence. So it has to have all these abilities: self-existing. It has to be uncreated. It has to be the first cause. That means the first, the first one to bring into existence something like the universe. And then it has to have the ability to create. And these are what we say the necessary conditions, or attributes that this entity must have to bring the universe into existence. And that is what we term as God. You see, because we have ruled out the possibility of the universe coming from nothing, from the universe coming from itself, yes? And for the universe, the only other possibility, unless you can tell me, would be from someone or something. And to us, that something has to be defined as well. Because without it existing, without it being existing by itself, or having the ability to create.
And then, for example, if God is like in everyone, right? Like you say God is in everyone or something like
No,
that?
we don't believe God is in everyone. We believe we all are created by God.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're explaining me all of this, and in my mind, how you're explaining it comes as a God is everything.
No, that's different.
Like God
When you create, for example, when you create a table,
because you're
when you
saying
make a
that-
table, you're not the table.
Yeah,
You're
but
just a
I mean,
creator of the
yeah,
table.
but then you're saying that it's like you're saying then that God created the universe.
Yes.
Yeah, but then it gets to the point that I'm saying then who created God? You
Yeah.
know?
Do you remember
If God is part of everything, then it makes sense.
No. God is not in the creation, if that's what you're saying. We believe God is
Everything,
transcendent.
According to what you said,
Yeah.
it would make sense that you're describing a God that is everything.
No.
Like,
That's
even the
pantheism.
universe, us, like
Yeah.
everything
That
is
is
like
called
part of
pantheism.
God.
No. For example, the example I gave you about making a table. When you make a table, are you inside the table? Are you the table?
No, but you come from something as well.
Yeah, of course. From God created me as well, and
Yeah,
you.
but then who created God?
So the question.
How did like God appear like that? Or?
Yeah. By the way, God is not someone that you can think like the way we think about the creation, like you and me. We need a cause. He is the first cause.
He's the first cause.
Yes, we need a cause. That means we are dependent for our existence, whereas he is self-existent. In Arabic, we call it as-samad. That means he's self-sufficient, self-existing. He doesn't need anyone. He's independent. So he's absolutely independent and self-sufficient. I think there's a term called aseity in English. Aseity. A-S-E-I-T-Y. Now, this is something we have to believe in order for us to understand logically and rationally how did the universe come. Because you see, the scientists cannot tell you about the origin of the universe.
We have to believe it, like without any.
Well, that's the only logical explanation that you will come to for someone who thinks rationally.
And why is not my point of view?
Your point of view is, I don't know.
My point of view.
Your point of view, Anna,
We are-
we went through this at the beginning. You said, I don't know.
No.
That's not
But
really
I mean,
an answer.
If I could, like, if
Yeah,
I
give me
would-
another explanation. Go on.
If I would believe in a God, maybe,
Yeah.
I think what you told me, it makes very much sense. Like,
Alhamdulillah.
we're all part of something, Like, and
No, sorry.
something-
Please, you need to really understand that. We don't believe God is part of the creation. We believe God is transcendent, but God is the one who brought all of this into
I
existence.
know, but then I keep having my question. Where does he come from? Like, whatever he or...
So you're asking
whatever
again-
this is, or
Yeah,
I don't know
you're
how
asking
to
who created
refer
God.
to him.
You're asking who created God. Am I right? Yes. So remember the terms I use, self-existent?
Yeah, I know, but I mean...
So when you're self-existent,
Yeah.
it means you are the first cause who caused everything else. That means without you, nothing existed and nothing will exist, but you are self-existent. So by definition, for example, if I'm talking about an object, I need to define it. So by definition, God is self-existent, uncaused cause, uncreated, yes, independent, non-contingent, all these things. and he's a creator. Yes? For example, if you wanted to talk about a triangle, immediately what comes to your mind? A three-sided figure. Yes? So you know immediately what a triangle is because we have defined triangle already, and this is common knowledge. So immediately that idea pops in your head. Similarly, as people who believe in God, we know God himself has defined what he
But
is.
then God gave this message to humans.
Yes, yes.
Through what? Like, did it
To
appear?
record
Someone.
through the messengers, through prophets,
Through, yeah.
through humans.
Okay, through humans.
Yes.
But there are a lot of humans claiming a lot of things. How do you believe these humans and not the other humans?
Very good question, yeah. So you scrutinize because the messengers that God sent, he sent them with a message. Our messenger, the last messenger, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gave us the Quran. The Quran is the last revelation, the last message from God Almighty through a messenger. Yes? So what we do is we look at, for example, many people claim that they have the book of God. Yes? So we scrutinize the book and we come to the conclusion whether it's true or false, whether it stands up to the scrutiny.
Here, I'm sorry, but I can't follow you because if I want to follow this conversation, I would have, I need to read the Quran, for example.
Fair enough,
see
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, we don't expect you to know everything about Islam just by standing here for 50 minutes or I don't know how long it's been. Okay, so have you read the Quran?
No.
Would you like to? If we give you a free copy?
I'm curious to read it because,
Yeah.
you know, I want to reach farther.
Yeah.
Like, my
Alhamdulillah.
conversation end up here.
Brother, can you get a copy of the Quran? Inshallah. So we can give you a free copy of the Quran.
My conversation ends here. So if
Fair-
I could
fair
have
enough.
read the Quran, maybe it
Yeah.
could have, like, ended a bit far. I don't know.
Yes. So here's a free copy for you. It's a gift. It's in English. Is that okay for you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
And this is like everything.
That's the what do you say, the English translation of the Quran, and it explains to you many things what God wants of you, because He expects certain things from you. We believe in life after death as well, by the way. So we know that this life for us is a test. So we have many ups and downs in our life, and we have to go through that test with patience, with the without actually disobeying God. Yes, so we cannot just because life is difficult, so you go and steal or something. So we try to bear it with patience, yes, without doing something which is forbidden for us. So there are things which we call halal, which is permissible, and things which are forbidden, and both of these are actually in the Quran. So we know that Allah gave us a guidance, and this guidance is something for us to be better human beings and to be better, what do you say, servants of God, or someone that we someone who is responsible for everything that we have, you know, the Almighty God. And you come to the conclusion of this understanding about God from that guidance. So inshallah, I mean, like I said, keep an open mind, which I believe you do have. So, and look into the Quran and then come to the conclusion whether God exists or not, or whether this is the right religion to follow. I know it cannot be done overnight. So ask people in your community who might be Muslims, or if you have friends, and ask other people. And that way you'll make sure you ask a Muslim, because there are many people who might give you wrong information. So if I want to learn about say for example Spain, I would rather ask a Spanish person than ask someone who doesn't live there. You see what I mean? To get a better understanding of the culture and the food and the people over there and the place as well.
Like, of course, like if I ask a Muslim, he cannot tell me anything else rather than.
Yeah, you might consider that as bias, but the important thing is that at least he will point you to the direction of what the Muslims believe. You see what I mean? So you can get second opinion, third opinion, doesn't matter. We don't say no. In fact, Allah tells us in the Quran that this is, He tells you to ponder on things.
If I remember well, I think Allah says that the things are in you. Like you would, like the first time when you do something, you know what you should do.
Very good, actually. Yeah.
So,
It's called the fitrah. So it's your natural disposition which tells you when you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So you do it the first time, your heart will tell you yes, or you
So I also
your mind will
believe
tell you that's wrong.
in like this nature of human of being good himself. Like for example me.
Yeah.
Like I do. I mean, you could maybe say that I follow a religion, no? Because I'm like very good and I like follow all the rules apparently of like good rules that God says, right? But I didn't learn them from him, so.
I think you're talking about morality, yeah? Whether we have good morals or bad morals.
Yeah, but I think it's born on me.
Yeah, that's why we call it the fitra. So the fitra is something which is innate to every human being. So every person is born with that, with the fitra. So you already have this natural disposition to recognize good and bad to an extent, yeah, not everything. For example, everyone, whether you're an atheist, agnostic, you believe in God, you just...
Why not everything?
Because morality is something which is acquired. You're not born with, not everything. So for example, if I told you, there are many people in this world who believe that abortion is okay, nothing wrong with it. Yes? You as a woman, you might have different perspective. Yes? This lady here might have a different perspective because she's a Muslim. You as a non-Muslim will have a different perspective. So what I'm saying is that you have a subjective opinion of what is good and bad. That means your understanding will be different based on your environment, based on the people that you are acquainted with, based on the family even, based on your friends and so on. So there are many factors which influence your thought. Yes, but what we believe in the Quran is about objective morality. That means only God can tell you what is ultimately good or bad for you. Yes, and He doesn't say that everything is bad, otherwise we can't lead our life. But there are certain things that Allah forbids you. For example, He forbids alcohol, He forbids gambling, He forbids fornication, adultery, all these things which are actually the evil things in the society that we know of.
But for example, for me, having been, for example, having a drink like alcohol, it makes me see the other people. I understand what they're passing through. For example, I know this experience, so it's not that.
So are you telling me that unless you drink poison, you won't know that poison is bad for you? That's a very.
I mean that I'm saying that I don't need a book
to know what's good and bad. You do actually. You know why? Because I told you there's a difference between subjective morality, which everyone has their own opinion. So maybe yesterday, they thought that homosexuality was completely wrong. It was punishable by law in this country, by the way. Yes, less than 70 years ago, maybe. Yes, but today is perfectly okay. So what has changed is they have changed what they considered as immoral. Now it's moral for them, or it's perfectly good. But you see, when you look at things in the scripture, it has been defined for you what is good and what is bad. What is forbidden and what is permissible by someone of a higher authority.
Let's say that we're born in a place where we don't have access to, for example, the Quran, right?
Yeah.
So how would we do we believe in God? Do we know about Him? Because if He is responsible of people praying for Him and all of this.
No, that's a very good question actually. So when you don't have access to Islam or somebody telling you about Islam, then what the scholars say is that it is up to him and Allah on the day and God on the day of judgment. God will judge him. So we cannot judge anyone. In fact, even now I cannot judge you or anybody else as to whether what will happen to you before you die. You might become a Muslim or you might not. Same thing with me or somebody else. So what we count is how the end is rather than how we are now. And for the people for whom Islam has not come or the Quran has not come to them, then Allah will judge them. We cannot judge them. But at least today we live in an age of information. Yes? And ignorance is a choice today. You see what I mean? So if you don't want to know, that is your choice. You can just switch off all the information from every angle and then you say, I don't know anything.
The problem is that the only evidence we have now is just a book with letters that we humans produce.
Sorry, evidence for what?
For what?
No, I'm not saying I just gave you the evidence of the creation of the universe. I did not use the Quran in that. You see? The evidence I gave you was from your perspective and from your rationality to come to a conclusion that the universe did not just pop out of nothing, out of nowhere. There has to be some agent to bring it into existence. And that agent has to be self-sufficient, uncreated, first cause, uncaused, and has to have certain attributes like ability to create and so on. So the reason we came to that conclusion is because there's no other rational explanation or possibility.
Yeah, but the fact of that there is like that I can't think about any other rational explanation, it doesn't mean that it wouldn't exist, you know?
Well, either that, or you can just go through all your life saying I don't know. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
You have to come to a certain conclusion.
That's the point.
For you have to come to a certain conclusion to come to a point where you say, yes, this is making logical sense to me. This is the only rational possibility.
That's what I'm saying, that I don't think that there's like specific logic in this kind of argument per se. It doesn't, like, I can't think about another thing because I'm not creative enough, for example.
Even the scientists who are very creative, who have a lot of information, a lot of intellect in their domain, even they cannot know how the universe originated.
But then someone, or we appear to have this other option, like there's something creating this. So
Well,
this is
bring it
also-
on then, come on.
This is another option.
You know, the philosophers, the scientists,
I know your point. But
all the scholars, they have actually thought about this a lot. In fact, they have thought about the purpose of their life as well, and they don't have an answer to that even. Forget about what's beyond the cosmos.
Yeah,
You see what I
but
mean?
The thing is, I don't have an answer. That's what I'm saying. That's what I go.
Yeah, but
to
you
with.
are you I don't know. Do you think you have
I don't
peace
have
of mind when you say I don't know about?
Like a valid answer, like a
Yeah.
proper answer that I would say I give my life for this answer because I know it for sure.
No, it's not. It's not. As a human, we are curious, yes, and we want answers. And as humans, when we don't have answer to certain things, then we are in a state where we don't have, peace of mind. You see what I mean?
Maybe if I finish reading this book, I would think that everything here is very wise and that everything makes sense. But still, if you tell me, like, do you assure, like 100% are you, like, do you really believe that there is a God? I would say no. I can't say
Okay,
that.
then you have to either answer the question and be at peace with that where did the universe come from? If you keep saying I don't know, I don't think that's an answer. It's like because I don't know is not an answer. It means you are unaware. You don't know.
Exactly.
But that's not an answer.
It's an answer.
Seriously?
It's an answer.
So if I
I don't know.
okay,
It means
imagine
I don't know.
imagine there is a person and he says to every question that is asked to him, I don't know. Do you
Yeah.
think that person is going to be satisfied with his life?
I don't know.
To give an example of an exam, you've got 10 questions in an exam,
Yeah.
and there are specific answers already known by the examiner. And you write, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know.
can't hear you.
Yeah, come closer. Sorry. Assalamualaikum, Sheikh. Assalamualaikum, Mansoor.
If you have an exam
Yeah.
and the examiner has set 10 questions,
Yeah.
yeah, the examiner who set the questions knows the answers to those questions. That's how the examiner is
Yeah,
testing
but
you.
you're putting a human like.
Yes, of course, human.
It's
Just
an analogy.
Giving you an illustration to understand what I mean by I don't know. And then you write,
Yeah.
I don't know to all the answers.
Yeah. But the thing is that he knows these answers apparently, but like you maybe
God
don't-
knows.
You maybe don't know.
Yeah.
God knows the
So when
answer.
we say I don't know,
That's why the answers are in there.
the concept about I don't know,
Yeah.
if I write I don't know as an answer,
Yeah.
out of 10 marks, how much am I going to get?
But what? Yeah, but I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. It's an
No,
answer.
how much marks
right?
am I going to get out of 10?
He was telling me that it's not an answer. It is an answer. I do
No,
not
I don't know. You get 0 marks.
I don't know.
When
is
you
not
write
an
in your
answer.
paper, I don't know. You get
know,
0
but,
marks.
Then it means that you're telling me that I will like end up my life with a 0.
No. What I'm saying, Anna, is that if you say
So
I don't
my
know,
life will
no,
not
if you
make
have a
sense.
question
Like,
paper like
I'll
Mansoor
be
said,
like so.
do you think your
burning
teacher?
in hell.
No, trust me. Do you think your teacher will give you any marks when you write I don't know?
The-
Your teacher, will they give you even 1 mark?
I don't know.
You have never sat an exam.
What?
Have you been
Have
through
you
an
ever
exam?
done an exam in your life? Of course, many exams. It may be that you have set
But
exams
who
yourself.
knows if a teacher, at some point in my life, I will do an exam. I will put I don't know. And
Imagine you're the teacher. Anna, imagine you're the teacher and your student, you know the answers to every question that you have said in the paper.
Yeah.
And your student writes I don't know. Will you, as a person who is just, sorry, as
You
a,
know
as,
my
as a
answer.
teacher, because you know the answers.
don't
No, remember I gave you the scenario already. You said the question. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I kind of disagree to say I don't know is not an answer. I don't know is an answer, but it is a beginning of something. Meaning, that us as a human being, if you don't know something, yeah, then we generally wanted to know, at least to know what's the answer. For example, yeah, did you get my point? Meaning, at least you don't know now, that's fine. But that's why we say it's worthy for us to look into there is an answer. This is as a human.
This is my
That's
point.
that's
This
our
is
point.
what
Yeah.
I'm doing
So
with
to
my
start,
life.
that's good.
Yeah.
And that at least we initiate that point. At least.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know about. For example, if you ask me about something, I will say to you, I don't know now about it, but I will look into it. That's the.
Yeah, but
this is the spirit for us as a human being. We generally do. Yeah. Now the second thing, there are links for us to know these answers. For example,
I know it's a bit.
this is I don't know now. Now,
That's what I'm saying, that if it happens to in my life, like come to a point where I am like, oh my God, I know, I'm certain about something, then I would say like, because I will feel it, I will think that it's the thing, right? So as the same example I put before, like now I see all of you here, so I know that you're here, and that's all I feel and I see and I can tell, you know.
Okay.
So I'm saying, yeah, I know 100%. Yeah, 100%. You are all here.
And you're not dreaming, right? Are you certain you're not dreaming?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm certain I'm not dreaming. Because
How are you
maybe-
certain you're not dreaming? It could be this could be all in your dreams.
Well, now all like this, it comes through another. Like,
Yes.
completely
Let's take it to the next level. How are you sure this is not in your dream? You're actually having this in a dream.
How am
You're
I
in a
sure
matrix.
that this is not in my dream?
Yeah.
Because, how can I explain that? Like, did you dream before?
No, this is all part of the dream. You're thinking we are having a discussion in Speakerscorner, but that's actually all in your dreams. And you'll wake up soon.
Okay, if this is all in my dreams and I will wake up soon, I will wait until I wake up and say, oh, it was a
Yeah,
dream.
so
but,
how are you
but
certain
in
now?
my dream now, it's not a dream, so it's not a
Now,
dream.
how do you know it's in a dream? When we are in a dream, do you think that you're actually not in a dream? Or you're in a dream? All the time, every time?
in the dream,
In the dream.
I don't know, because I've never been like that conscious that
No,
now in a dream.
When you are dreaming,
It's a hypothetical question.
when you are dreaming,
Imagine the
Yeah.
question.
do you think in your dream that it's not real, it's only a dream?
So when I'm
Sometimes,
dreaming, say again,
When you dream, sometimes, do you always, every time, think that this is only a dream? Or do you sometimes feel this real?
normally I never dream like anything that real. There's always something. Yeah.
But
I
maybe
guess.
you don't dream that way. But some people may dream
Yeah.
and they actually think this is real.
Yeah, but
Only
then
to wake up to find out it was a
wake up,
dream.
They wake up and they
Right.
They will
say,
discover
like,
So
they
this
realize it's a
conversation,
dream. Yeah. So
it's
then
possible
when
it
I
could be
wake
a
up
dream.
and I realize that this will be a dream, I will say, I was in a dream, and I thought in the dream that
Yes.
that was really the reality.
Yeah, but imagine you haven't woken up yet. When you're still dreaming. How would you know?
Then I wouldn't know.
Exactly.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. To say you're 100% certain, to apply the level of skepticism that you're applying about your knowledge,
But
this
you
is
know,
the point.
You know what will happen? The truth is that I will go to sleep
Actually, she's
and I will wake up and I will remember all of you and being here, and I knew that that wasn't a dream because I can touch it.
Okay,
And
fine.
I can like,
least-
and then even
Fine.
if I take the contact of all of you, I will just like
Okay.
make like
seeing
wake
is
up,
believing.
wake up, and I will
Yeah,
text
yeah.
all of you.
So
and
seeing
you can
is
text me
believing,
back,
right?
Yeah, we were all here. So then it's a dream of everyone,
Fine.
you know.
So
like,
seeing-
because I never like talked. Like I never had a dream with someone, for example, and then go like, "Oh, do you remember that we met?" You know.
Anna is a hypothetical question.
Fine.
We don't have to
So,
over what you say.
because you see
Analyze
all
it.
of us here, this is real to you, right? You're certain. Yeah. So if something is provided to you like this in this nature where you can see yourself, this levels of evidence is certainty to you.
Say again, sorry.
When you see something, you're certain. You become certain by seeing.
when you see and hear
Directly.
and touch, you will be certain.
Yeah. So that's a level of certainty. Yeah. That's fine. Do you agree there are different levels of certainty?
There are different levels of certainty.
For example, you may not have witnessed the murder yourself, but circumstantial evidence might point to that yes, we are now certain to a level where there's minimal doubt left that this murder happened. How do we convict a murderer when you haven't witnessed it
By
yourself.
the way, our first language not English, so
Can I maybe
we shouldn't use so many jargon. Yeah?
Okay. So you know what basically he says, yeah. You know, without jeopardizing your saying. Basically, he says there are different levels of certainty. Not all the time we have to
Yes and
see and touch and hear to give us the evidence that this thing happened. Sometimes, with our analogy, we'll know something happens. For example, you came from your house today, for example here, or from your hotel room or whatever. If you go back and you find something which you didn't place on the, something which you didn't put in the room on the bed, you found, for example, a phone, or you found something there, you will say definitely someone came and put it
I
here.
would say something happened.
Something
and
happened.
That,
Made the phone
into that. Like yeah, it didn't
exactly.
appear like
It
that.
didn't appear like this.
Yeah.
So, but you are certain that there is someone put it there. Certain.
I'm certain that something happened. So
Something.
That this is there. I wouldn't say like, oh, someone put it there, or
Or
you know, I wouldn't
at
be
least
sure
you,
about anything. I
at
wouldn't-
least, oh yeah.
Give another example,
So
easy
at least
example.
you will be certain.
Sorry,
What-
an example
I
is
would know that it's
she
not
found
magic
a
because
coffee
I
being
never
made
saw
on a table.
magic,
Coffee.
So if you find a coffee being made on a
it's
table,
not even part of my
Use
reality.
that example.
okay. If you find a coffee being made on the table, you went there, you went home.
Hot
You have only,
Sorry, say-
you have your for example
Can you
your.
repeat? 'Cause
Okay,
I'm-
I will repeat.
Yeah.
For example, your hotel room or your room, for example, you closed it. No one entered that room except you, and there is a coffee machine there, for example.
Yeah.
And then you went to home now, and then you discovered there is a hot coffee on the table. Someone made a hot coffee on the table. You will say certainly someone has done it, has made a coffee on the table. Yes.
Or this is not appear from nowhere.
So you will say someone. So that's the point.
Yeah.
So you are certain on this. That's why we say, but you didn't touch. One
I'm
second.
uncertain.
No, you are certain.
I'm certain. Yeah.
You're
I'm
certain.
because there's evidence.
There's
There's
evidence,
proof
exactly.
That I can see and touch. And
But you did not see the person
no,
who made
but
it.
I can't. Yeah.
You did not see the person who has made it. You
I
didn't
know, but-
hear him. You didn't touch him
Yeah.
or her.
I know.
But you saw.
Yeah,
from
but,
nowhere.
but
Different levels of
there is like scientifically proved that there is only like some certain things that would be able to do this.
Exactly.
Which is a human being probably. Because
Exactly.
I don't think there would be any other evidence, like scientific evidence in the world that a cat can come and make a coffee like that.
Exactly.
So then I will know
Exactly.
scientifically
Yes.
that some human
Good.
probably, because I can't think about
we don't think
anything
Tom
else.
and
So you reach this level of certainty through your analogy, not from your senses. Is that clear?
From science, from a proof, from evidence.
What's called the analogy.
From
That's
logic.
Logic. What you learned before.
you logically make that deduction.
From your logic, let's say. You know where your logic is, yeah?
You didn't see it, you didn't observe it, but you know logically, no one.
From the science
it can't
and the
come
things
from
that you
anywhere.
studied
It can't
before,
come
you
from
implement it here. You say logically has to be someone has made it.
Yeah.
So now here, that's our point. We wanted to get you to this point. Now you say, okay,
It would be very cool if not, but
definitely it should be someone has done it. Definitely, that has to be.
Unless you
Which
believe in
means,
magic.
which means
Yeah,
the coffee,
exactly, like,
which means
magic.
the coffee
I don't
beans.
know if I believe in
Listen,
magic or not.
so the
I
coffee
don't know.
beans, didn't jump from the trees and went all these areas,
No,
and they came and
exactly.
they roast themselves, and then they entered. They grained themselves, and then they entered the coffee machine. They made themselves, and then the water jumped in,
Yeah.
and then the coffee cup
Like, I
came
don't know
from.
if, for example, God could do those things. It's very cool to do that. Like,
Yeah. Okay, we'll come to this point. So that's why we say to you, so what about if the coffee that was made, do you drink coffee with sugar or without sugar? Just for,
Do you
It
drink coffee at all?
depends. It depends.
what do you like it generally?
Generally,
Yeah.
with milk and a bit of sugar.
A bit of sugar, one spoon of sugar.
Sometimes. I don't want to say that I always.
Then you came into that room, you found that coffee
Yeah.
was made exactly the way that you like,
Yeah.
which means with the exactly amount of milk that you like. For example, I like
It's impossible because I
One
never
second.
measure anything that I just go like randomly.
Suppose-
One day it's like that, one day it's like that. I'm like,
Suppose-
oh,
so it's not
oh,
meaning-
that's nice. Oh.
You're very choosy. Yeah?
so they put, for example, one spoon of sugar exactly the way that you like, and they put it in the cup that you like.
But it's not any of that way because it's
I just, is that,
For example, I like vanilla latte. I like latte with vanilla. Yeah. So if I came to the room where and I found a latte with vanilla, the way that I like, that means there is someone who knows me, made it for me the way that I like.
no, or maybe it's coincidence. at that person.
It's possible,
Because
yes.
it's
Possible,
You,
possible.
you are one like